much for giving, Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity again. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So today's Japa talks topic is antivirus for the mind. The biggest struggle for a sadhaka when he sits for chanting is to struggle with the mind. So today some knowledges will discuss how we can take some measures. How can we put this antivirus within the mind, which is being compared to a hard disk. The mind is compared to a hard disk which is corrupted since time immemorial with so many things. That is the reason the mind wanders while we sit for chanting. If we just introspect, when we sit for chanting and the mind is wandering, it is just a total of futile exercise. It has been compared to like when we see the dogs in the streets. The dogs, they chase various cars for long distances and finally they get nothing and it is just a futile exercise. Similarly, the mind also chases the thoughts for long distances, but it is just a futile exercise. So by in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi balavam dridam. It is very strong, obstinate, and stubborn. The mind is very flickering. And he gives the solution also in the next shloka, 6.35, Abhyasen tu konteya vairagyan cha grehate. That with practice, yes, Arjuna, with practice you can conquer the mind. So with five analogies, we'll discuss how we can try to conquer the mind. The first analogy has been given like when a pilot is sitting in a plane and he is trying to control the plane. So 90% of the time, the plane is going haywire. So that pilot has been trained to bring back the plane to the original path. So similarly, we should also try to bring back the mind to the original path, that is the towards concentrate on the chanting. Second analogy has been given how a ferocious lion in a circus is controlled. The lion is put into a cage and he's being not being fed anything. He's just not he's hungry for so many days and he keeps on roaring louder and louder and louder. The solution for this that roaring lion is he's not been given anything. He see his roaring is increasing, getting louder day by day, but he will get weaker and weaker. Similarly, if mind also roars that he wants to think about so many things, he wants to get this while we sit for chanting. So we need not to feed the mind so that it roars and roars, but it will become weaker with time. So this will help us to conquer the mind. That lion, when it becomes weaker, then they how they tame the lion is by giving him food, by telling him you need to do this only, then you will be given food. So this is how the ferocious lion is being tamed. The third analogy has been given when we see a snake charmer. A snake charmer blows a kind of bean in front of the snake so that poisonous snake dances on the tune of the bean. So similarly, this ferocious snake has been compared to a ferocious poisonous mind. So we need to also do some sound vibration. The sound vibrations are Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So these sound vibrations are so potent that it can conquer the mind and mind also start dancing on the sound vibrations of Hare Krishna. The third analogy has been given, the fourth analogy has been given, which says that we have to disidentify ourselves with the mind. So Amoglila Prabhuji gives a very beautiful analogy that if you want to make a halwa in a kadai, so you have to be outside the kadai, not you sit in the kadai and you'll make the halwa. You'll not be able to make halwa if you sit in the kadai. So we have to disidentify ourselves from the mind. We and the mind both are different. So when we sit outside the mind, like we disidentify ourselves from mind and identify mind with Krishna. Yen ken prakarena mana Krishna niveshyat. So we have to disidentify ourselves from the mind and identify mind with the Krishna. Then it will be very helpful to conquer the mind. The fifth analogy and very beautiful analogy has been given, like a child asks for to his mother that mother, I want some chocolate, and the mother tells her husband, please go and bring some chocolate. So if the husband is weaker and he is under control of his wife, he would say, okay, I'll just go to the market and bring some chocolate. But on the contrary, if the husband is strong and his wife is under his control, he would say, he would try to educate the wife. No, this chocolate will spoil his teeth. His teeth will become carious, and in the coming times, he'll lose his teeth. We should not give him chocolate. So the mother would say, yes, yes, we will not give the chocolate to the child. So in this analogy, the child is compared to the senses, and mother is compared to the mind, and father is compared to the intelligence. So if our intelligence, which is according to Bhagavad Gita, which is superior to the mind, the first is senses, then mind, then intelligence. So if our intelligence is strong enough, by reading Shastra, by reading Srila Prabhupada books, we would be able to control the mind. As the father will try to educate the mother, similarly, our intelligence will try to educate our mind. And these analogies will be able to, might able to control, teach us how to conquer the mind while chanting. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Prabhupada.